Sup Flare Squad, welcome back to another quick theory / explanation video. Today I'll be going over Enhypen's Let Me In music video. Now I won't go too in depth because I'm gonna try to keep this one simple and easy to understand. Remember that these are just theories and my own interpretations of the music video, so feel free to leave your theories down below because I love reading all of your comments and thoughts. We'll begin at the 27th second mark, where it looks like the boys have arrived through an elevator, making an impression that they've snuck in or something and are having fun. This sign confirms that they are in a storage area, and you'll notice all the fragile crates, taxidermy mounts of animals, and objects that you'll later on connect to an exhibit or museum. They're all having fun, playing around, and you catch a scene of Sunghoon wrapped in a black cloth, posing what seems like a vampire pose, I guess you could say. Sunwoo then finds a glowing blue liquid conveniently out and ready to drink. At this point, we don't know what this is yet, but there is a part in the lyrics where it says, "Oh, shining blue might turn red. Baby joy blossoms in the pain." As soon as Sunwoo took a drink, a red light began to glow from a covered crate. You'll notice a scratch on Sunwoo's face that seemed to have appeared out of nowhere, which we'll touch base in a bit. They're all drawn to it and seem to have snapped out of being unconscious. They are now conscious of what's really going on. They're not in this happy environment that they thought they were in. Okay, let me bring it back a bit and I'm gonna try to simplify it more. So the music video shows that these boys are exploring this cool museum and having fun. Then Jungwon begins to notice things. I noticed that his character in particular seems to be the first one who notices things and becomes aware. Now, I'm not sure if Jungwon was floating to the black broken LED screen because of the scenario of them being on the moon and space and everything, or because he's a vampire and they float as shown in their previous music videos and clips. The black square represents them being conscious, or the surroundings kind of falling apart. They're not in space and it's an LED screen that's broken or acting up. It then shows Jungwon sitting and looking down at what looks like a grave 6 feet under. And he's the first one to be conscious about the situation. Not sure what the grave means at the moment. But what is the situation that they're aware of? Well, they are part of this exhibit and not kids who somehow snuck into it and, messing around. But they are the exhibit, basically. And I'll get to that in a bit. Sunwoo is shown in a crate representing that he is one of those fragile items because he is part of the exhibit. It flashes a scene of him sword fighting with sticks and getting accidentally cut by Heesung. This accident had already happened before he drank that liquid. So he already had this cut, but he was basically unconscious until he drank that blue liquid, which is why it seemed like it came out of nowhere, but in reality it was actually there the whole time. Now, I'm not sure why Sunghoon had a knife, but my theory is that he's been scratching up tally marks. Maybe it's to help him keep track and help him stay aware, but I'll get to that as well in a bit. As for Jake and his red gummy bears, at first I thought it was a representation of blood because, they're vampires. And the whole space scene, you know how if you have liquids in space, it forms this little clumped up looking bubbles, which is why I thought it was blood, but there could be more to it than him leaving traces of gummy bears everywhere. Red gummy bears to be specific, but let me know your guys' thoughts and theories about the gummy bears. The boys, who are now conscious and aware of their situation, run straight for the fake wall / LED screen and tries to break through it. The scene switches to the boys, but in different outfits and in a different location of the exhibit. But then they discover handprints on the glass. Now, I have two theories. Theory number one. These two scenes show that the boys have actually been aware before. This isn't the first time, and they've tried multiple times to break out. Hence the different outfits and locations, plus maybe that's why Seung-hoon has been cutting tallies into the wood to keep track, maybe. The LED and glass then begins to shatter, but then a light from above shines down on them. This gave me a feeling that the light kind of represents the observers, basically the ones who have been keeping them in this place. We then see a scene of the boys in the exhibit in this small little room with a glass case over it, but now the glass is broken, and with green lasers around. And green lasers are usually used for security purposes, like if you cross it, the alarm goes off and everything. But this time, they have broken the glass and escaped. Yay! They removed the plastic coverings off them, which were probably used to cover them from the dust. And that's how, you know, because they're part of the exhibit. Them removing the plastic was also showcasing them being conscious and aware. Now, as for the scene of all the members looking down at the grave, except for Jungwon, who was at the grave earlier by himself, I'm not sure exactly what this scene means, but they made it seem like Jungwon fell into the grave, and like the others saw and are looking down at him, but then left. So, And then we come to the end of the music video where the boys are all locked up in this glass box, but then it's about to shatter, you know, showcasing that they're about to escape, you know, being conscious. Yes. Theory number 2. There are actually 2 parallel versions of the Enhypen members that we see. The ones in colorful outfits are the ones who are currently stuck inside and part of the exhibit. The ones in the blue outfits are the ones who are free and exploring the exhibit in the middle of the night, I guess. The ones in blue then notices the handprints on the inside of the exhibit glass. And which exhibit glass is this? The ones with the colorful outfit Enhypen members inside. You notice the glass on the blue side start to crack, and at the same time, the colorful side's LED screen also starts to crack open. Notice that it's basically like the blue side and the red side, 2 important colors that we see a lot. The colorful outfit side is now free and they run away, they dip. But now, whoever owns this exhibit has to replace their missing models. So they end up taking the blue outfitted Enhypen members. And yes. Note that they also show members in spacesuits, so there could be more than one exhibit set with a different theme, which is a space theme. But let me know which theory you like better, theory number 1 or theory number 2. So the question is, why are they being held as prisoners in this exhibit? So I do have this theory, and maybe it's because they're all vampires. They have immortality. And because of them being immortal, that could be the reason why they're locked up. Take a look at this whiteboard behind Seung-hoon, which says Enhypen, and notice the words body parts, and I believe that says dismantling. Yeah, that's it is kind of creepy, which brings me back to the scene with jars filled with who knows what, and you notice the fangs on the counter. So I'm not sure if they're being kept there to be kind of like experimented on or being showcased because they're vampires, you know. Note that there is a movie called Let Me In about a bullied 12-year-old boy who develops a friendship with a female child who is a vampire. I don't know if this has any connections, but it was just something interesting to point out. Also, people have connected their previous music video to an anime called The Promised Neverland, which is also about characters who were living in this fantasy but came to realize what they were actually there for. Spoiler alert, skip this if you haven't finished the anime or if you're planning on watching it and you don't want to be spoiled, but they have tried to escape before and it led them to this wall, gigantic wall, which they have also climbed over and then found this huge ditch in front of them. I don't know if they're gonna be part of the BU and TU, like basically the big hit universe, but there were some seeds you could connect, such as the horns that could be from Yeonjun in TXT, the deer head from Eternally, members being stuck in glass boxes, and the whole red surroundings kind of bringing consciousness. So, and you know, the list goes on. If you do want to see my reaction to their music video, I did end up recording it, but not my usual way. And that is the reason why it's on Patreon, you guys. Sorry about that, but since I didn't get to post my reaction on YouTube, I decided to make this video in case you guys wanted to hear like my thoughts and theories. But I hope you enjoyed this quick explanation/theory video. If you did, make sure to click that like button and also join the Flare Squad by subscribing, you guys. Thanks for watching.